It's in pretty much every medicine cabinet. It's our go-to for allergies. And for millions of us, it's that quick fix for a sleepless night. But what if that little pink pill isn't the harmless sleep solution we all think it is? We're going to dig into the science behind Benadryl and all its popular cousins. Picture this. It's 2 in the morning. You are wide awake, just staring at the ceiling, and you've got a huge day tomorrow. You just need to sleep. The question so many of us ask in that moment is, should I just take something? And for millions, the answer is a definite yes. They reach for that common, easy-to-grab pill. But here's the thing. Sleep experts are starting to sound a major alarm, and their warnings are something that anyone who's ever tossed and turned at night really needs to hear. Okay, so before we jump into these so-called solutions, we really need to get a handle on the scale of the problem itself. That frustrating, incredibly common struggle, the sleepless night. And the scale is just staggering. If you've had trouble sleeping, trust me, you are so far from alone. We're talking about 30% of all adults. 30%! That's nearly 1 out of every 3 people dealing with symptoms of insomnia. So, what even is insomnia, technically speaking? It's not just, having one bad night. The official definition is a sleep disorder where you have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep, and this is the really important part, it messes up your day. You feel tired, irritable, you just can't focus. So when you're faced with that, it's really no surprise that so many people just head straight to the pharmacy looking for a quick and easy fix. And what they end up buying, whether they even realize it or not, almost always has the exact same active ingredient. It's a first-generation antihistamine called diphenhydramine. And yes, that is the very same stuff people use to treat allergies. You'll recognize these names in a heartbeat. Benadryl, of course, is the most famous one, but it's also the PM in Tylenol PM and Advil PM. And it's the key ingredient in Z-Quil and Somanex. I mean, it is everywhere. So how on earth does an allergy medication make you sleepy? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. See, in your brain, you have this chemical called histamine that basically acts like a stay-awake signal. Diphenhydramine gets into your brain and just blocks the receptors for that signal. So with the stay-awake message blocked, your brain just naturally starts to feel drowsy. It sounds like the perfect, simple solution, right? But this is where the story takes a pretty sharp turn, because that simple fix, well, it often fails, miserably. And the reason why comes down to one word, tolerance. As Dr. Lawrence Epstein from Harvard Medical School puts it, you tend to become tolerant of the effect relatively quickly, so they stop working for you. Your brain just gets used to it. And the tolerance builds shockingly fast. I mean, really fast. One study found that, the drug helped people on day 1, but by just the 4th day of using it, it was no more effective than a sugar pill. It literally stops working in 4 days. And here's the real kicker. Even on those first few nights when it might help you drift off, there's no good evidence that it actually improves your quality of sleep. So it might knock you out, but it doesn't mean you're getting good restorative rest. So it stops working fast, and it doesn't even give you better quality sleep. But the problems don't stop there. Not even close. We have to talk about the unseen side effects. First, you've got the common stuff people might notice. That awful hangover feeling the next day, the dry mouth, blurry vision, constipation. These are all pretty unpleasant, sure, but they're not the biggest concern here. Now, the real concern, the one we really need to pay attention to, is what else this stuff is doing inside your brain, besides just blocking histamine. This is where the risk gets a whole lot more serious. So think about it this way. You're taking it because you want drowsiness and rest, but what you're actually getting is a whole host of hidden effects you did not sign up for. We're talking about brain fog, confusion, poor coordination, and a much slower reaction time. This isn't just feeling a little groggy. It's your brain not working right, well into the next day. And for one group in particular, these hidden effects aren't just an inconvenience. They are a significant, and I mean significant, danger. For adults who are 65 and older, the body just processes medications differently, and with diphenhydramine, that means the risks are amplified. Big time. It's gotten so bad that many specialists who work with older adults are strongly advising against using it at all. And the risks are really stark. The dizziness can lead to falls and broken bones. The brain fog can cause serious confusion, even delirium. And maybe the most alarming finding of all, growing evidence from major studies is suggesting a potential link between using these drugs long-term and a higher risk of developing dementia. Okay, I know this all sounds pretty bleak. But the good news, the really good news, is that there are much safer and honestly much more effective ways to get a good night's sleep. I mean, just look at the difference. On one hand, you've got the drug. It's a short-term Band-Aid, you build tolerance in days, and it's got a long list of side effects. On the other hand, you have what experts now call the gold standard for treating chronic insomnia, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI. It's a real long-term solution with lasting benefits and zero drug side effects. And this isn't some fringe idea. This is what the top experts at places like the American Academy of Sleep Medicine officially recommend. It's a type of therapy that gives you the skills to change the thoughts and behaviors that are keeping you awake. It's about actually fixing the root cause of the problem, not just putting a mask on the symptoms for a couple of nights. So, we'll end with this thought. A pill offers a really simple promise for what is often a very complex problem. But with everything we now know about the risks and how little it actually helps, it's worth asking yourself, what is a truly good, healthy, and restorative night's sleep really worth?